Applied puppetry for me, it can make people think in different ways. I've been trained in applied theatre, which is theatre that goes into communities and into educational settings. But my specialism is puppetry. So it was the idea of bringing those two disciplines together and using a lot of really, really good ideas that are coming in applied theatre, bringing them to bear, bringing them into the practice of puppetry that's used for education and community work.
Puppets, like visual arts, like all the arts, enable us to detach from the real. And by detaching from the real, we can not just make something an abstraction, but make something symbolic.
The idea that something that is a puppet or an object, how it seemingly speaks to us as human beings and tells us stories, but also makes us think about what it is to be, is really part of what some of those practices can be in applied puppetry as well.
Tupamui means let's breathe in Swahili, and the Tupamui project aims to look at the lung health of children in 2 different communities in Nairobi in Kenya. We know that there are issues with adult lung function, but we don't know whether that starts in early life. This is the first research study of its type in Kenya. Part of the project involves testing the lung function of the kids in the 2 communities, but we wanted to demystify the process of data collection for the children and also for their parents.
In Tupamui, we developed new partnerships with community members, some activists, teachers, artists, and we kind of come with suggestions. We listen to what the community needs, what the community kind of desires, what they think would be effective, and we sort of build tools and approaches together, which ultimately makes them sort of more effective.
We used a number of different creative methods to devise a sensitisation programme. And this included things like music, street parades and games, but it also, crucially, it included a puppet show.
I had, at that particular time, created a puppet to test out. It wasn't the most successful in terms of functionality, but it at least demonstrated that this might be something that we can develop as a tool to engage the public, particularly the children, because in the context of Nairobi, there's very little access to objects of play. And we got some very good feedback and interest.
The collaborative relationship with Louis Netta is great because there was a necessity to have a set of puppets that could work effectively in a project remotely. He was on the ground, he was working in Nairobi, he was doing that practice and could see a need, see the value of puppetry as an art form. And really all I did really in that is just collaborated with him in terms of the making. And then the next level of working with that was working with Cressida Bauer, working at making those partnerships really, really happen. And I just slot into that as a creative, but also as a thinker about how you can find different solutions to problems.
Matt and Louis created the puppet together, and then we took the puppet over to Nairobi and we toured the puppet show around to all the schools that were participating in the research study. We wanted to make sure that any child that was going to come in and participate in the study knew exactly what they were going to go through, that they'd basically seen Billy the puppet, and it was very successful. We've now tested the lung function of more than 2,000 children. And many of the children who turned up had seen the puppet show, so they all knew about Tupamui, Let's Breathe.
Through the puppetry, it has been remarkable to see the engagement, the enthusiasm on the ground for what Billy's Day Out is sort of all about. The way that the puppet enables that some other level of interest, generates that other level of interest, which is critical. If a single person does it, it becomes about that single person. When a puppet does it, it is demonstrating for all.
This project is all about collaboration, and that's collaboration not only within the University of Portsmouth with Louis and Matt, it's also collaboration with our partners, but most importantly, collaborating with the people in the two communities in which the research is taking place. It's about doing research in the community, with the community and for the community, and the reason we do that is to try and maximise the chances of our research having real impact in those environments.
I've always loved puppets, and essentially that sort of idea for the puppet for Tupamui in the very, very beginning was just a hunch. And finally, through working with Dr. Matt Smith and Matthew Hahn, it was really interesting to see this transform into something more formal and highly effective.
Research takes a lot of time, takes a lot of organising, takes a lot of sorting out, and working as teaching as well is part of what we do here, and it's an essential part of what we do. But one of the big payoffs for me in terms of that side of the research is getting those little golden moments, working with the partners, asking them to kind of give us their reactions to what we were doing and their idea of why we were doing it. It's really, really useful because it helps the credibility of what our research looks like in terms of impact, but it also feeds the kind of heart. It makes you feel like, that's really nice to hear that. To have kind of some evidence of that is one of the best bits of it. That's sort of the proudest thing that I think I have out of all of it.
It's really heartwarming to work in these communities with the communities, especially in ways that can be quite entertaining and quite good fun. Very proud to be involved with these projects.